Kenya's gold.
Hello, hello, hello. Guess who is finally back here with you in studio? The international Mkulima is back with you like she never left. Happy New Year to every single one of you from whichever part of the country that you are watching us from. And we do hope that you had a smooth transition from 2025 into 2026. Now, for the last several weeks here on the program, we have been running our repeat series edition, but we are glad to let you know that as from today, we are back to business as usual. Our live programs start today. Now, thank you so very much for making time to join us from whichever part of the world that you are watching us from. And of course, as we kickstart our live sessions, we do have a fantastic program lined up for you today. Now, while we were away, a crisis crept into the agricultural sector, and as it is right now, the farmers and food security in general is not looking very nice. What crisis am I talking about? We are going to be getting into that conversation shortly. Once again, good evening, viewers. Thank you for being here. My name is Violeta Ngina, or the International Mkulima. Now, today we're going to kickstart our live shows by talking about the drought crisis in Kenya. According to research, this is the most severe drought that has been experienced in Kenya since the year 1981. Now, there were early warning signs in 2025, and these warning signs were passed by the World Health Organization, Kenya Met Department, and the Red Cross as well. Now, remember, in Kenya, we do have 47 counties, and 23 of those counties are the ASAL, the semi-arid, and the arid regions who have been most affected by this particular drought. Now, very quickly, I do want us to look at some data, and this data was done by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. It is a recent research, and what it's showing is different counties, different arid counties, and the total livestock population that is in dire need of food and water. So when you're talking about livestock here, tunaongelelea ng'ombe, tunaongelea mbuzi, kondoo, camel, and even the donkeys. So as per the counties, we will be looking at how many animals in that particular county are in need of urgent food and water. So we're going to start with Mandera, which has been the hard hit by this ongoing drought. Currently, 6,155,625 livestock are in need of food and water urgently. When you're going to Garissa, the number is at 9,809,143. We're going to go down to Isiolo. The number is at 2.7 million. In Kajiado County, the number is at 2.3 million. In Kilifi County, 856,579 animals are in need of food and water urgently. If we move on to the next counties, we are talking about Kwale County. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Thank you very much. So we're looking at Kitui County. 3.5 animals are in need of water and food. Kwale County, we are talking about 940,000 animals. Marsabit, 2.1 million. Tana River, 1.8. Wajir County, 7.3. Now, remember, like I had told you earlier, we do have 23 arid and semi-arid counties. We have just broken down 10 counties that the ones who are hard hit by the current drought. Now, you've seen in our data, we've talked about Kajiado County, which as we speak, 2.3 animals are in dire need of food and water urgently. Now, over the weekend, we did have the pleasure of traveling to Kajiado County to speak to a farmer ambaye anajihusisha na mambo ya mitishamba. But also remember, Wamasai pale, they take pride in being pastoralists. And he did talk to us about how this particular drought has been quite unique. Take a look at what we found. Isipokuwa kutengeneza hii mitishamba, unafanya ukulima ingine ya aina gani?
Tunafuga ng'ombe, mbuzi na kondoo.
Sipokuwa kiangazi imepiga sisi wakati ingine sana.
Niambie kiangazi imekuathiri aje, kama kuna wakati pengine mlipoteza mifugo. Hebu niambie ni kiangazi ya wakati gani, pengine mwaka upi ama miezi gani hiyo ambayo uliangalia ukasema hii haujaona kama hii kwa muda mrefu?
Tumeona mara mbili. 205.
205?
Yeah. Tumemaliza ng'ombe kabisa.
Wanakufa?
Tukaanza tukapata tena. Sasa mwaka jana pia
2025.
Yeah.
Ni kama hii 5 iko na shida.
Yeah.
205, 2025.
Bai, basi. Hiyo ingine ndio imekuja ikamaliza tena. Kaya tumisa sana, ng'ombe imekufa mingi.
Kama tuseme kama ngapi? Ukiweza kuhesabu ile tu kwa hii hapa karibu na wewe, ili unaweza kuhesabu, unaweza sema umepoteza kama ng'ombe wangapi?
Mimi nilipoteza ng'ombe 50.
Kwa sababu ya kiangazi?
Nilikuwa na 70.
Ulikuwa na 70?
Yeah.
Ukapoteza 50?
Yeah.
Ukabaki na 20?
Nikabaki na 20. Shule ikakuja tena. Ikachukua saa hii iko na 10.
Shule sasa ukalipa school fees na 10.
Ndio.
Sasa umebaki na wengine 10.
Yeah.
Kiangazi imesumbua sana.
Yeah.
Unaona kama nini tunaweza fanya mikakati kama hapa? Sioni kukinyesha huwa mnafanya water harvesting, sioni mahali kuna dam. Unajua hiyo mvua yenye inakuja kidogo tunaweza harvest borehole. Mipango ni gani? Kwa sababu ni kama tumejua hii kiangazi ni kitu ambacho kitakuwa na sisi miaka tofauti. Tunaweza fanya nini ndo angalau by the time inakuja tumejiprepare kidogo?
Mambo ya maji hapa ina shida, iko kisima iko hapa chini. Inakuwa na maji. Mambo ya maji hapana mbaya. Lakini mimi naona venye nasa nikipata nguvu kidogo na fence mahali, alafu itakuwa nakata nyasi. Niko na hiyo mpango. Lakini sina nguvu ya kufence. Nguvu ya kufence ndio imebaki.
Ukipanda bila kuweka fence?
Nyasi. Nyasi kinyesha inamea. Sasa ukikata, ukiweka kasto kidogo, wale wanakata nyasi wanaita tractor, wanakata nyasi wanaweka store. Sasa wanapatia ng'ombe yake kwa kiangazi. Hesi kufa ng'ombe. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo upate
ni shamba na fence tu, alafu nikate nyasi. Hiyo ndio mpango sasa.
Hiyo ndio mpango. Sawa.
Ndio.
All right, that was a farmer we met in Kajiado. That particular farmer has about 2,000 acres of land, but with the ongoing drought, he's watched about 50 of his cows perish due to the drought that we are talking about on the program today. Now, to chime in on this conversation, I am not alone. I am joined by a set of fantastic guests. To start with, Honorable Jonathan Mweke, thank you so much for honoring our invitation. He is the PS State Department of Livestock Development. Asante sana kwa kukuwa mgeni wetu wa kwanza as we kickstart our live shows in the year 2026. We also do have Mr. Onesmus Njuguna, a dairy farmer. Karibu Mr. Onesmus. Umeona mkulima mwenzako wa ng'ombe amesema amepoteza wanyama. Kidogo tu ningependa kusikia, you as a dairy farmer, hii drought imekuonesha kivumbi mwaka huu?
Sana. Manake chakula ilipopandwa haingeweza kumea, kwa hivyo ilikuwa kama 1.5 futi.
Right.
Mahindi na ndivyo tunategemea sana. Hata zile maharagwe pia ziliisha.
How many cows do you have so far?
I have 5.
Right.
Dairy cattle.
Dairy cattle.
Na hiyo ndio tegemeo letu sasa.
Right. So
but ukienda kwa upande wa chakula sasa imekuwa bei kali sana.
Great.
Ukienda kununua hii hizi zinaitwaje? Unauziwa ambayo hata haijafika 50 kilos. Sababu wanakanyanga na mguu, wanatengeneza matubambao, wanakanyanga hiyo nyasi alafu wanafunga. Inakuwa hata haiwezi kuliwa na hata ng'ombe inaweza kula hata 5.
Good. Tutaendelea na hiyo mazungumzo. Acha nimalize kuintroduce the rest of the guests. We do also have Mr. Jim Nyaga, who is a farmer and also an agricultural consultant. He will be talking to us a lot more on what he's seeing on the ground with the very many farmers that he represents. Also in our set, we do have a Gen Z. Remember, the young people are the heart and soul of this program. Mr. Isaac, asante sana kwa kuja siku ya leo. Karibu sana Kenya's Gold. And also we do have Miss Beth. Habari ya Beth? Uwe kwa shamba yako unalima nini?
I'm a mixed farmer. Yeah.
Kuna nini na nini na nini?
Kuna mboga, kuna mahindi, kuna maharagwe. Ukiingia kwa shamba yangu kuna mpaka avocado, kuna madizi.
Aha.
Yeah.
Na wewe ukiangalia hii kiangazi wakulima wengi wanalia sana.
Yeah.
Wewe unalia ama mambo yako iko sawa?
Mimi ndiye nimelia zaidi kwa sababu kitu ya kwanza, pesa yenye nilikuwa nikiweka kwa mfuko sina. Wenye walikuwa wananitegemea bado hawatakuwa na mahali pa kupata. Wenye huwa napea kibarua hakuna. Wenye wanakuja kununua kwangu stiru hawako. Wenye the last consumer. In fact, ni shida.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to be getting deeper into that conversation. Finally, Mr. Kimani Wakamau, an agronomist and a farmer as well. Thank you so much for making time to be with us on the program today. He will also be shedding more light on what the farmers are feeling on the ground. And also remember, this conversation is not just for us. We also want you back at home to participate. Na utuambie, wewe kama mkulima, umeathirika kivipi with the ongoing drought that we are experiencing in Kenya currently. And the only way for you to do that is by sending us an SMS on 22422, but also you can call in on 0742 961 343. I'll repeat the number one more time. Feel free to call us on 0742 961 343. Now let's just get into the conversation. Honorable Jonathan Mweke, umesikia kutoka tu kwa wakulima kuguzia tu, hata tujaingia kwa the depth of the conversation. Clearly they are crying. Things are not looking very nice. You've seen from our farmer of the day and of course the headlines on the news every single day of the week. And we'd like to know from the national government perspectives, what are we doing about this now? So we're going to talk about the short-term goals to salvage the ongoing situation, and then what are we going to do so that we make sure we are not having a similar baraza kama hii tena next year 2027 tumeita wakulima wengine papa hapa to discuss the same topic, because now climate change is here. So what are the short-term goals?
Yeah. Ngina, thank you very much. You've said it right. Climate change is here and it is real. And that's why you're hearing our farmers are being affected. For us really as government, the first thing is sensitization. We really just have been working on partnering with the county governments so that we can tell our farmers, yes, it's dry, there's no water, so what do you do? We've identified areas, especially in the north, Mandera and the other very hard-hit areas where water has disappeared completely, but there's still some pasture. We are water tracking. We are spending quite some money as government in partnership also with development partners. We are water tracking water and telling the pastoralists, take your animals to these areas where there's little pasture remaining, where we can water track some water to your area so you can get some water, and advising them that things might get even worse with the less than average rains that have been forecasted by the meteorological department, so that they can also dispose of their animals.
Right.
That way the animals cannot die to the drought.
Great.
I am aware that we are also giving some cash transfers to some very, very hard-hit families who don't have livestock, who don't have food,
Right.
And because the rains failed.
Right.
So we are doing those cash transfers.
So there on the cash transfers, maybe you can help us identify, how are you identifying the particular families that you genuinely feel, hawa mahali wamefika, they need the cash transfers, and also what budget are we working with? And this cash transfer that we're giving, is it a one-off or is it until mvua ikuje mambo yanze kukaa vizuri? What's the strategy around the cash transfer?
The cash transfer program, of course, we identify the beneficiaries using a multi-agency approach within governments. So there's the National Drought Management Authority that has boots on the ground, and they monitor the very hard-hit parts of the country. There's the National Government Administration, the chiefs and the sub-chiefs, who are very close to families, and so they're able to really tell who's hardest hit. And then there's the county government, who of course have a responsibility for drought mitigation. So we have a national steering committee that's chaired by the Deputy President that is completely multi-agency, including development partners and private sector, and we are all working together to see how we can mitigate this. In terms of budget, we are expecting for the next 3 or 5 months, 3 or 4 months, to spend about 6 or so billion shillings on different drought interventions. Cash transfer was just one.
One of them.
Like I mentioned, we are doing water tracking, we are buying emergency hay to give to our farmers. We also have a livestock insurance program that we keep running so that we can mitigate risks like when we have right now, and our off-take program for government to off-take a livestock that is in distress. So the total budget is about 6 billion shillings. Of that, per month, the government is providing 4 billion shillings, and then 2 billion shillings is coming from the private sector actors, from development partners, and really just from friends.
Great. All right, so thank you for sharing that. I believe that's one of the short-term goals, because you can only give money for so long, right? So itafika mahali, if we do not work on what is happening on the ground, mtakuwa na pesa na una chakula ya kununua. So later on, you will be shedding more light on what are the long-term goals to avoid this conversation again in 2027. I do want to go to Mr. Jim Nyaga. You have been in the agricultural sector for some time now, and year in, year out, it's like we keep discussing drought saizi. In a few months, it's going to be floods. All right? So talk to us about what you're really seeing on the ground, and are our farmers prepared ama tu wako vile vile walikuwa enzi zile? Is there any effort from extension officers and the national government to help our farmers adjust to climate change and to do what is needful of them?
Thank you. What is happening on the ground is very pathetic. As I can see from the crop departments, we anticipate total crop failure, whereby some farmers will not even harvest anything. And bearing in mind that maize is the staple food, most of them are not going to have anything in their granary. And one thing that is really touching, farmers are not ready, they are not prepared for this. Though the extension officers and the agricultural officers are trying to support farmers in terms of coming up with soil conservation measures, whereby we had some programs that developed things like water ponds, trying to come up with terraces in terms of where we have the slope being quite steep. And you see farmers are just there. They're just waiting for anything that is going to come. They are not predicting what is going to happen. So like extension officers, we are really going on the ground, trying to come up with even how they're going to protect rivers and harvesting that water. You find a household does not have a tank. So you see that one may be providing a tank, may be quite a Herculean task for us. And basically, let me say, farmers are not ready for this. Yet they know after some time we have the drought. But they don't know how to go about it. And I think it's quite a pathetic way.
So what I'm getting from you is we could be looking at an extreme crop failure. And farmers are not prepared at all.
Farmers are just prepared now to start buying food. Even in those areas that seem to be very potential. Already we have 11 counties already being in that they're facing severe famine. Then we have another 20 that are already on alert. So if we do a quick math, that's about 31 counties out of 47. We are in the 3rd day of February. As the government has said, they are warning that this may continue. So we are talking of February escalating to March, and probably now we may have rainfall in April. So you can imagine some of these counties may find themselves again facing severe drought. So as we speak, 66% of the country is at loggerheads.
Kimani wa Kamau, you're also in touch with very many farmers on the ground. Kwa maoni yako, umesikia Mr. Jim akisema wakulima hawako tayari. They are not prepared at all for what is happening. From your end, what are you getting from your farmers? Is it still, are they unprepared, or what's the way forward?
Asante. Wakulima wetu wameona hii maneno, na as my colleague has just said, that they are not prepared. And what I can say is that we have a very big lapse from our farmers. Our farmers, they don't have information. As the PS from the government has said, is that it is not sustainable to give or for the cash transfers. But the information is already out with farmers. It's only that they never followed the letter. So unapata mkulima amekaribia mto, but because they are used to rain-fed agriculture, hata wenyewe hawajafanya bidii yoyote. So imekuwa tu ni hawajakuwa prepared enough, hawajafanya jitihada zozote pia wao kuweza kufanya vitu zenye zinaweza waokolea hiyo njaa.
Right.
So you find that farmers themselves wako na kazi hawajafanya, na tuwezi sema ati they are solely to be blamed, but information is out there, but our farmers are not actually very much ready.
Right. Yes. Honorable Jonathan, umesikia wakulima are not prepared at all. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much is the government prepared for this calamity that we are facing right now, given that our farmers seem not prepared at all? How prepared are you?
From the food standpoint, I mean, thanks to our fertilizer program, we have enough food in the country. Yes, there might be a crop failure, but in the last 2 years, we've grown so much food through our subsidized fertilizer program that government can now tell Kenyans that there is no Kenyan who's going to go hungry during this drought. We have enough food in the strategic food reserves, and you've seen quite a number of people even being tracked for relief food that should be able to see us to the next train. In terms of helping with mitigation, it's a joint effort. Like I told you, the government has budgeted 4 billion shillings, which is almost 80%, and another 2 billion shillings will be coming from other places. So ni kusaidiana tu ndio tuhakikishe wakulima wetu wote hajakuwa kwa shida kubwa zaidi.
Right.
But what's important is, again, I've heard one of Bwana Kimani here say, it's about sensitization and about taking action. So, you know, when government, when the agripreneurs, or even the extension workers or consultants go and tell the farmers, listen, there's a drought that's coming, we can't control it, we're going to lose animals, sell your animals now.
All right.
We just want the farmers to listen to us and let them sell their animals while the body condition is still good, while they can still get a good price for them.
Right.
So that, you know, you destock when times are hard and then you restock when times are good.
Right.
And it's really just about partnering all different kind of agencies to ensure that the farmer has all the information they need and support from not just government, but all other stakeholders in agricultural.
All right, just very quickly, you mentioning from a crop point of view, I believe this is a conversation we need to pick up also with the CS and you know, everyone involved in there. But we recently saw him talk about how they need farmers to release their maize. It's like the reserves where they keep the maize, they do not have enough of it. And maize is our staple. That's what we consume a lot. Can we really say we are prepared for the drought when it comes to food, yet we still do not have enough of maize in our reserves?
Well, we do have enough of maize in our reserves. I think what the CS was speaking about was about hoarding of the maize, which then causes other actions like importing. And then you hear people saying, why are you importing maize while we already have maize in the stores? And that's why the CS was actually telling the farmers, listen, if you don't release your maize into the market, then what that does is it causes a shortage of supply and brings the prices up. That's hoarding. So what will be government's intervention will be to import.
Right.
And then when you import, now the person who struggled to plant the maize says, sasa serikali inalete mahindi, na ndoko na mahindi, it becomes another crisis. So CS was just really giving a warning shot for people who want to do unfair business.
Right, great. So you're about to take our first break, but Isaac, wacha tukusikie kidogo, tusikie sauti yako kidogo. You are our Gen Z farmer on the set. Pengine utuambie, what do you grow in your farm? And being the youngest in the group, ulianza mambo ya ukulima mwaka upi? And also why?
Asante sana. My name is Isaac. I'm a coffee and maize farmer. I started farming about 2 years ago. And farming is good, and I've learned that there is money in farming. But in the past one season, drought has really affected us as farmers. My production has gone down in the past season.
All right.
Asante sana.
Great. So we are taking our first break now. When we come back, our farmers will help us understand what they really mean when they say their production has gone down. Kama mtu alikuwa anapata bag 10 ya mahindi, sahi anapata ngapi, so that we can understand the impact of this drought when it comes to production. Mr. Onesmus, utatuambia maziwa ulikuwa unapata lita ngapi, sasa hivi unapata lita ngapi kwa sababu umekosa chakula. That and more will be answered when we come back from a fast short commercial break. But also remember, here on the program we always do have our farm joke question of the day, which our guest will be answering as we wrap up the program. And the question that we are asking you today is our farm joke. Yeah, there it goes. What belongs to you but others use it more? Umeona, Beth, ni nini kitu chako lakini watu wengine wanakitumia zaidi kukushinda? Sawa? You will be giving us answers to that at the end of the program. And also remember, you can call in and tell us how hard you have been hit by the ongoing drought. And the number to call us on is 0742-961-343. See you after this break with a lot more when it comes to the drought crisis here in Kenya.
Kenya's gold.